Joseph Conrad's short novel, Heart of Darkness, first published in serialized form in 1899, remains one of the most potent and unsettling works in the English literary canon. It endures because it unsettles, challenges, and refuses easy comfort. At its core, the narrative details a sailor's journey up the Congo River into the African interior. The voyage becomes a metaphor for a deeper, more treacherous exploration into the human soul. The story is not merely an adventure tale, but a disturbing meditation on the nature of civilization, the corrupting influence of absolute power, and the terrifying thinness of the moral veneer. It stands as a seminal critique of European colonialism, exposing the brutal hypocrisy beneath the proclaimed civilizing mission. The novel refuses simple answers. Instead, it immerses the reader in ambiguity, where light and darkness are not opposites, but deeply intertwined, and beacons of enlightenment become sources of moral decay. The story is recounted by Marlowe, a thoughtful, introspective sailor, to companions aboard a ship moored on the River Thames. This framing creates layered memory and reflection, suggesting the journey haunts the present. Through Marlowe's eyes, we witness unchecked greed and the unraveling of Kurtz. The narrative unfolds as a slow, deliberate descent, physically up the river, psychologically into a moral abyss. Marlowe begins on the Nelly, musing that London, now a center of light and empire, was once a dark place for the Romans. The line between civilization and savagery proves thin and arbitrary. Childhood fascination with blank spaces leads Marlowe to captain a steamer for a Belgian company in the Congo. He arrives at the outer station, where ideals shatter against brutal reality. He witnesses the grove of the dying, lives discarded like broken machinery. The cost of ivory marks a decisive shift in perception. At the central station, he finds his steamboat sunk, likely sabotage. He waits months, hearing of the company's prodigy, Mr. Kurtz, deep in the interior. The journey is perilous and isolating, the river sluggish, the jungle primeval and watchful. Unseen assailants fire from the banks. Marlowe's helmsman is killed, his blood soaking Marlowe's shoes. Marlowe reaches Kurtz, not a noble emissary, but a skeletal, fever-ridden man, intellect corrupted by power. Kurtz, a demigod to local tribes, presides over unspeakable rites, gathering ivory through terror. Charles Marlowe, a seasoned sailor, is defined by introspection and a drive to find the kernel inside the shell of the story. Unlike his fellows content with surfaces, he seeks deeper meaning, guiding us through a moral labyrinth. At the dark center stands Mr. Kurtz, gifted writer, charismatic speaker, brilliant artist, once bearing lofty ideals of light and progress. Cut off from societal restraints, his ambition curdles into megalomania. He becomes a tyrant, raiding villages for ivory, the object of terrifying worship. Kurtz embodies humanity's capacity for moral collapse when restraints are removed. The company is faceless bureaucracy, an engine of empire cloaking greed as progress. Its pilgrims worship at the altar of ivory, hollow men ruled by jealousy and avarice. Imperialism dehumanizes colonized and colonizer alike, reducing all to instruments. The Russian harlequin, naively devoted, enables tyranny. Kurtz's intended, sheltered in Europe, remembers only his humanitarian ideal. Marlowe's lie preserves her illusion. Conrad offers a scathing critique of imperialism, exposing the civilizing mission as a facade for greed and power. The pursuit of ivory leaves destruction, enslavement, and death in its wake. Marlowe encounters the pretending, weak-eyed devil of a rapacious folly. The title's geography opens into a moral inquiry, darkness within the human heart. Europe's light and Africa's darkness blur and invert as the journey deepens. Enlightenment becomes a source of moral darkness. The jungle holds a primal, unsettling truth. Kurtz, bearer of light, becomes embodiment of darkness, proving savagery is universal.
The horror.
Language falters. Some truths defy communication, isolating those who see them.
Marlowe's framed narrative underscores the struggle to make others see the horror he witnessed.
Set in the late 19th century along the Congo River, in the Congo Free State, King Leopold II's personal domain. At the height of the scramble for Africa, partition and extraction governed policy. Conrad drew on his 1890 Congo voyage, giving the novel documentary force. Forced labor extracted rubber and ivory. Failure to meet quotas brought mutilation, torture, and mass murder. Marlowe's Grove of the Dying and Heads on Stakes echo Leopold's atrocities. The novel stands as literary testimony against a project that killed millions. The landscape is primeval, stripping away pretense, forcing elemental confrontation. The sluggish river draws Marlowe into geographic and psychological unknowns. By framing the tale on the Thames, Conrad links empire's heart to its darkness. Two rivers, one moral question. Conrad's style is dense, evocative, profoundly atmospheric. Sentences that wind like the river form mirrors, meaning the struggle to articulate the ineffable.
Marlowe qualifies, revises, doubts, an impressionism of memory and aftermath.
Darkness and light, morality and knowledge, race, woven through symbol. Ivory's purity masks corrupting greed. The river is the journey, external and internal. Fog, the obscurity of truth. A story within a story, filtered through Marlowe, observed by an anonymous narrator. The frame breeds distance, skepticism, and doubt. No clear villains or heroes. Resolutions dissolve into mist. A weary, melancholic tone. Marlowe looked into an abyss and was changed, yet cannot fully explain what he saw. More than adventure, Heart of Darkness is a profound exploration of the human condition. Marlowe's journey peels back the veneer of civilization to expose a latent darkness within individuals and systems.
It culminates in Kurtz's devastating judgment. The horror! The horror!
The cry condemns not only Kurtz, but the imperial machinery that enabled him. The frame on the Thames universalizes the tale. Darkness is a latent possibility everywhere. The novel refuses moral clarity, insisting we face uncomfortable questions about power, truth, and civilization. Its final image endures. The journey inward never ends. Its urgency remains.